Could you expand on the supply chain disruption qualification?
Okay, yes. So we can talk for multiple hours on this. So I'll try to condense it, and I'll give you a little bit more insight on,
because we all had issues like getting gloves, getting all those type of things. So we really did go through that. We had an issue with just getting protective gear and whatnot. So we all know that that was very big in almost all of our practice, having those shortages.
Okay. So first off, we have a lot, and I don't know who's joined us since I brought this up, but we have a lot of dentists that have come in, filed with us, received money. There's not an inherent red flag with dental offices, doctor's offices, things like that. I think, although I can't speak to your specific business, generally speaking, there's lots of ways to qualify being in the business that you're in. Speaking specific to supply chain, I'll give you a little bit more detail. Here's how you qualify for supply chain. What if you were a business and I'm a construction business, but I also sell widgets on the side? Well, the widgets on the side only accounted for 2% of my revenue, but those widgets were disrupted in supply chain and it affected my business. And the construction company, let's say, was fine. Those widgets that represented 2% of my revenue, does that qualify me for a supply chain disruption? And the answer to that would be no. We first have to establish that what was affected with the supply chain was a significant part of your business. And the IRS, I say significant, but the IRS says at least 10% of your business. So for most everyone on here, what you're doing is 100% of your business. You're not into a lot of things. You're a dentist and that's your business. You see patients, you patch up their teeth and fix cavities and everything else, right? And that's your business. You got to look at that as a whole. So once you establish that, yes, what was affected was at least 10% of my business in 2019. Then you look at the quarter that you're qualifying and say, was that item or items disrupted? Gloves or equipment, or Glenn, I don't know, maybe you can speak to some of the things that might have been delayed that were common. Anything that affected operations. And that could be change in hours, that could be change in manpower or the need for manpower, or postponing customers because of that, or pushing them out, or delaying that.
All the above, Mark. All the above, what you just said there.
And I'm not giving you an exhaustive list. I'm just trying to rattle off probably 200 things that it could be, and it's very vague. Disruption to operation is vague, and that's why the tax attorneys are saying, how are they even going to manage to this? Actually, let me back up and try to state this a little bit more clearly. Operations needed to be affected in that quarter by a supply chain disruption, just generally speaking. And then what was disrupted? Was it a big enough part of your business? That's where you go into 19 and say, in 19, was that part of my business? And in most cases, the answer is yes. That's why, coming back to the startup credit, because you can't look back to 2019, there's none of those qualifications. If you're a new business startup starting after February 15th, 2020, supply chain revenue thrown out the window. You're a new business and you didn't make $1 million in 2021, you qualify. Now it's just a matter of how much is the credit, which can be up to 70% of the wages, and it caps with the new business startup credit. But in the comments, let me know if that confused you more or if that was helpful.